Have you ever, just stared at a mountain of marketing spreadsheets, felt like you were drowning in numbers, and
Hmm.
still found yourself asking, okay, but what does this really tell me? Like, how do I actually make better decisions from this?
Oh, absolutely. It's a classic problem.
You're definitely not alone if you felt that. It's a universal challenge, really. And today, that's exactly what we're diving deep into.
Getting past the noise.
Exactly. How to cut through it and make sense of your marketing data. We're going to look at a system called the FAPI Marketing Framework, specifically its Insights module.
A really powerful part of FAPI.
Our mission today is basically to give you a shortcut, a way to transform that raw data into clear, actionable knowledge.
So you understand not just what's working or not, but the why behind it.
And crucially, what to do next.
Yeah.
Because without that clear, actionable understanding, well, marketing can feel like a black hole for resources, can't it?
It really can. Leaders get frustrated, budgets get stretched thin, it causes a lot of tension.
Absolutely. And, this isn't some new problem that just popped up with digital marketing.
Not at all.
You go way back, like 19th century. John Wanamaker, the department store guy, he famously said, "Half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The trouble is, I don't know which half."
Amazing, isn't it? Decades before algorithms, before analytics, the core challenge was right there.
And it still resonates today, maybe even more so.
I'd say definitely more so. It's fascinating how that historical problem just echoes. Forbes, for instance, they reported something pretty staggering,
Oh, yeah.
that 80% of CEOs, 80%, openly say they lack trust in their marketing departments.
Wow. Why is that?
Often it comes down to this gap between the big strategic vision, and the day-to-day tactical stuff, what actually gets done.
The execution doesn't match the plan or the results aren't clear.
Exactly. And Harvard Business School found something similar. They said 90% of businesses fail to hit their strategic goals.
90%.
Yeah. And often for related reasons. They struggle to connect their actions, their marketing activities, to measurable outcomes.
So we've got all this incredible tech, just oceans of data, but we're still wrestling with this basic issue.
We really are.
It's not just the unknown waste Wanamaker talked about. It's the sheer volume of information that can actually kind of lead us down the wrong path.
That's a huge part of it. Information overload.
Yeah, and you see businesses fall into traps, right? Like shiny object syndrome.
Oh, constantly. Chasing the latest trend without checking if it actually fits their strategy.
Or the opposite happens. They get defensive. Oh, we tried that. It doesn't work here. Kind of resisting new ideas, even if they're well-informed.
Precisely. And marketers themselves. They kind of know this is happening.
Yeah.
They estimate, on average, they waste about 26% of their budgets.
A quarter of the budget just gone.
Gone. On ineffective strategies. Some even admit it's, 20% or more misallocated. And that points straight to issues in planning and, critically, data analysis.
So it's not just about collecting the data points.
No, not at all. It's about making sense of it. Making it mean something in a way that actually impacts the bottom line, not just adding more noise.
Okay, so that really sets the stage for the challenge. Let's talk solutions. This is where the FAPI marketing framework comes in, right?
Exactly. FAPI provides that structure. It's a methodology, really, for marketing planning, for management, designed to build and organize high-performing marketing functions.
And it's built on principles like being coherent, collaborative,
And adaptable.
Written.
Crucially adaptable throughout the whole process.
So within FAPI, where does making sense of the data fit in?
That's the Insights module. You can think of it as the improving through insight stage. It's where all that data you've collected finally becomes truly actionable.
Okay.
Its core purpose, data-driven decision-making. Simple as that. It lets you systematically analyze campaign performance, gather feedback, look at market trends.
And use all that to refine your strategy.
Exactly. To optimize future efforts. It's where the theory hits reality, where the rubber meets the road, you could say.
So how's it structured? How does the Insights module actually deliver on that promise?
It moves through 5 standard components,
Hmm.
systematically. First, data acquisition, getting the data. Then data analysis, making sense of it. Data visualization, making it easy to see.
Okay.
Then performance review, discussing what it means. And finally, the most important bit, actionable recommendations.
So it's a clear path from just raw info to actual strategic choices.
And the output, the deliverable. It isn't just another report to file away.
Right.
It's what FAPA calls improvement actions. These are concrete, specific adjustments you make to the marketing plan, things you actually do to enhance effectiveness.
Real, measurable changes, not just insights sitting on a shelf.
Exactly. not just gathering dust.
That sounds really robust. But what makes it actually work? What's the foundation for success with this?
Good question. Success here really hinges on three critical things. First, you absolutely need well-defined performance metrics and clear targets.
Which you'd set up earlier in FAPI, right? In the architecture module.
Precisely. That groundwork is essential. Second, you need reliable data. Consistent, high-quality data acquisition. Garbage in, garbage out still applies.
Always.
And third, you need the capability, the skill, to accurately interpret that data. You can have great metrics and great data, but if you misread it...
The whole thing falls apart.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If any one of those pillars is weak, the system falters.
And it's not just like a checklist you run through once, is it?
No, not at all. You should picture it as a continuous loop, an action loop, always cycling from understanding past performance back around to instructing future actions.
Like constant feedback mechanism.
Yes, which really emphasizes that marketing data. It's only valuable when it becomes a catalyst, when it leads to action. It's about turning that data mountain into a clear path forward for you, a blueprint for always getting better.
Okay, so this continuous improvement loop is key. How do we start organizing all these numbers then? How do we make sense of them in a way that actually gives us those clear insights?
FAPI uses a structured, layered approach for categorizing metrics. It helps ensure you're getting a really comprehensive, sort of holistic evaluation. We break them down into three main categories.
Okay, what are they?
First up, delivery metrics. Think of these as measuring the effort, the output. Did we do the thing we said we'd do?
Like launching campaigns or
Excellent.
publishing content.
Exactly. Number of campaigns launched, content pieces published, impressions served. Even something like cost per thousand impressions, CPM, fits here. It's about efficiency of delivery. It answers, was the activity executed as planned?
Got it. So the basics, the nuts and bolts.
Pretty much. Then the next layer up is performance metrics. Now we're looking at quality and outcomes, assessing the effectiveness of those delivery activities.
So not just did we send the email, but did people open it?
Exactly. You're asking, how well did that effort actually resonate? So social media engagement rates, customer feedback scores, email open rates, organic search rankings, these tell you how well your efforts are working towards your goals.
Okay, that makes sense. Effort, then effectiveness. What's the third layer?
The third layer is impact metrics. And these are really the most crucial for those strategic conversations, especially with senior leadership, the CEO, the CFO.
The big picture stuff.
Yes. They gauge the long-term influence on the broader business objectives. We're talking market share growth, return on investment ROI, customer lifetime value CLTV, market penetration rates.
Ah, okay.
These provide that essential view. How is marketing truly contributing to the company's overall success and growth?
That layering is so important, isn't it? Understanding those distinctions helps you speak the right language to different people in the company.
Absolutely. Your tactical team needs to focus on delivery and performance for their specific tasks. The C-suite needs to see the impact on the bottom line.
It's about providing the right info to the right people in a way that actually means something to them.
Exactly. Relevant perspective is key.
So that layered approach is a game changer for organizing metrics. But how do we apply it across the whole customer journey? Because marketing isn't just isolated campaigns, right? It's a continuous path.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And that's where user journey mapping comes in.
Yeah.
It's actually component 9 in FAPI's architecture module. It's a really powerful tool for designing great customer experiences.
By defining that pathway a person follows with your brand.
Exactly. From the very first time they hear about you, maybe, all the way to becoming a loyal advocate. And FAPI breaks that journey into 5 core phases. Each needs its own specific metrics.
Okay, let's walk through them. What's first?
First is reach. This is purely about getting your brand in front of potential customers, creating that initial awareness.
So impressions, maybe?
Impressions, yes. Engagement rates on initial content, CPM, like we mentioned, even broader things like share of voice or brand recall. It's basically your brand saying hello for the first time.
Got it. What's next after reach?
Next comes validation. This is critical. Users have seen you, now they want to check you out. Is this brand legit? Is what they're saying true?
So they might Google you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You monitor things like direct Google searches for your brand or product name. Social media mentions, what are people saying? How are you doing on third-party review sites?
Okay.
There's a great story about Play-Doh here.
Oh, yeah. The modeling clay.
Yeah. It was originally invented and marketed as a wallpaper cleaner.
No way.
Seriously. But then teachers started using it for crafts. Kids loved it. Consumers essentially validated it for a completely different use. They repositioned the brand themselves by how they sought it out and confirmed its value to them.
That's incredible. It really shows you need to listen to how people are actually interacting, not just what you think they should be doing.
Absolutely. Customer validation dictates true positioning sometimes. So after validation comes engage.
Okay, so they've checked you out, they believe you. Now what?
Now they react positively. They get genuinely curious. They want to explore more. Metrics here get more specific. Things like deeper Google search queries maybe for specific features, product demo calls requested, brochure downloads.
They're leaning in?
Exactly. Some marketers even call this the handshake phase, just to avoid confusion with those generic engagement metrics you see everywhere in analytics software. This is about real, active curiosity.
Makes sense. And after, engage.
Then comes conversion, the desired final action, what you ultimately want them to do.
Which varies, right? Purchase for e-commerce.
Right. Or a contact form submission for a service business, maybe booking an appointment. And this stage is so critical. Business Insider Inc. reported businesses lose over $4 trillion in merchandise annually just from abandoned carts.
$4 trillion! That's insane.
It is. It just highlights how vital it is to smooth out every single friction point in this conversion phase.
Wow, okay, so conversion, then what? Is the journey over?
Not at all. The final phase is nurture, or sometimes called customer-based marketing CBM. This is all about your existing customers.
Keeping them happy, driving loyalty.
Exactly. Increasing their lifetime value. And data integrity here is absolutely paramount. Get it wrong, and you can do real damage.
Like sending the wrong offer.
Worse. There's that famous case with Shutterfly, the photo printing site. They accidentally sent an email congratulating a huge chunk of their database on having a newborn.
Oh no, regardless of whether they actually did.
Regardless. Imagine getting that email if you'd recently suffered a loss or were struggling with infertility.
Right.
Errors like that can be devastating for customer relationships.
Yeah, that's terrible. So nurture needs really clean data.
Critical. On the flip side, successful nurture involves things like personalized content, loyalty programs, proactive support, making existing customers feel valued, turning them into advocates, not just buyers. There's also the famous, or maybe infamous, American Airlines AirPass scheme from the 80s, a classic example of miscalculating customer lifetime value. Offering unlimited first-class travel for life for a flat fee, they drastically underestimated how much some people would fly.
Huh, right. CLTV calculation matters too. Wow, okay, so mapping specific metrics to each of these stages, reach, validation, engage, conversion, nurture, that gives you such a granular view.
Incredibly granular. You see exactly where things are working well and where customers might be hitting roadblocks or dropping off. It lets you make really precise, targeted improvements.
Okay, so we've mapped the journey, we've got metrics for each step, but now the really tricky part, right? Attribution. When someone finally buys or converts, who gets the credit?
The million-dollar question, or maybe multi-million-dollar now.
Right, connecting all that channel data, understanding the real path someone took. It's just incredibly complex, especially now. Google says people check their phones, 150 times a day?
Something like that. It creates this explosion of micro moments, as Google calls them.
Those little intent-driven searches or interactions.
Exactly. Turning to a device to act on a need near me, how to, best price. All those moments influence the final decision, making a simple linear path really rare.
So how do marketers even try to track this? What are the models?
Well, there are various attribution models people use. You hear about first click, where all the credit goes to the very first touch point.
Seems a bit unfair to everything else.
It can be. Then there's linear, which just splits the credit evenly across every single interaction.
Okay, democratic, but maybe not accurate.
Often not. Time decay gives more weight to the interactions closer to the conversion. Makes intuitive sense, maybe. And position-based often gives, say, 40% credit to the first touch, 40% to the last touch, and splits the remaining 20% among the middle ones.
Lots of options. But you sound hesitant.
Well, it's crucial to see the limitations. Any single simplistic model often misses the bigger picture.
Yeah.
The actual relationship context.
I have an analogy for this. Think about two friends, Mike and John. Known each other 20 years, play squash, families hang out, been through thick and thin.
Okay.
Mike calls John, says, "Hey, we just got back from Europe, amazing stories, come over for a barbecue Saturday." John immediately says yes. Now, why did John say yes?
Because of the 20-year friendship, presumably, the relationship.
Exactly. Would you really say he only accepted because Mike mentioned European vacation stories on that specific phone call?
Of course not. That would be ridiculous.
Right. But a simple last touch attribution model in marketing, it often does exactly that. It credits the last interaction, ignoring the entire relationship built over time.
That's a perfect illustration. If good marketing is about building that relationship, then good analysis needs to understand how users respond during that relationship building journey. Where are the friction points? Where are the moments of truth? It's almost never just about the last click.
And thinking about it relationally is becoming even more important now, isn't it? With all the privacy changes.
Oh, hugely important. We are absolutely in the middle of a generational paradigm shift. Privacy regulations are increasing, third-party cookies are being phased out.
The whole landscape is changing.
Fundamentally, this drastically reduces the accuracy of many traditional attribution models that relied heavily on those cookies. Marketers have to adapt.
So what's the alternative?
Developing privacy-conscious models.
Yeah.
Much more emphasis on first-party data, the data you collect directly from your customers with their consent, and adopting what we call a full-stack view of marketing measurement. Meaning integrating data from all your customer touchpoints across your entire marketing tech stack, CRM, email platform, website analytics, everything to get a truly holistic picture, relying less on fragmented external data points. It's a big shift.
Definitely sounds like it. And how does this broader view connect back to measuring overall impact, like return on marketing investment, ROMI? How does that fit with measuring, say, just one Google Ads campaign?
Yeah, that's a critical distinction.
Oh.
They need to be treated differently. Overall, ROMI calculated as sales growth minus marketing cost, all divided by marketing cost that assesses the profitability of the entire marketing plan, the whole shebang.
Okay.
But you can't really evaluate an individual activity, like one specific Google Ads campaign, in isolation against that high-level commercial ROMI target. It doesn't make sense.
So what do you measure that campaign against?
Against activity-specific performance targets, things that were likely set back in the architecture module. Goals like achieving an average cost per click of $2.50, or getting a click-through rate of 4%, maybe keeping the bounce rate below 40%. It's about setting the right realistic expectations for each individual piece within the bigger machine.
Okay, that makes sense. Measuring the part against its own goals and the whole against the overall business goals. So once we have all this data, layered metrics, journey insights, attribution thoughts, how do we make it actionable? Because just drowning in data, binging on it, as you said, doesn't help anyone make decisions.
Exactly. And this is where FAPI emphasizes tailoring the reporting. Different stakeholders need different views.
Right, like we talked about with the metric layers.
Precisely. FAPI structures these reporting layers clearly. You have commercial marketing metrics for the top leadership. Focuses on ROMI, top-line revenue, typically reviewed quarterly.
Big picture, less frequent.
Right. Then you have marketing management metrics. This is for the marketing director, the plan master. It gives an integrated full funnel view. How are we doing against tactical goals? How's the user journey performing? Review more often, maybe monthly.
More operational.
Yes. And finally, marketing production metrics. This is for the teams actually doing the work, the production executives, measuring the execution and the immediate outcomes of specific activities, like a social media campaign or an email sequence, often reviewed weekly, maybe even in daily or weekly sprints.
So everyone gets exactly the level of detail they need to do their job, make their decisions.
That's the idea. It removes ambiguity, ensures everyone's focused on the metrics most relevant to their role and their responsibilities.
This sounds incredibly organized, very precise.
It aims to be. And there's a key principle that helps make it work in practice. Data conditionality.
Data conditionality, what's that?
Think of it like setting up smart rules, predefining outcomes based on specific data results. Basically, if this condition happens in the data, then we take this specific action.
Ah, like if-then statements for your metrics.
Exactly. If sales from Channel X drop by 15% month over month, then we automatically trigger a review and reallocate budget, something like that.
Yeah.
It allows for both proactive planning, you've already thought about potential outcomes, a really swift reactive responses.
So you're not scrambling when the numbers change. You already have a plan.
Precisely. It makes decision-making much faster and more precise. Takes some of the emotion out of it, too.
It sounds almost like applying the scientific method to marketing operations.
It's very much in that spirit. In fact, we often suggest the 6-step process, kind of borrowed from science, for evaluating new marketing ideas, especially the ones that pop up out of nowhere.
To avoid those impulsive initiatives.
Exactly. The steps are observation, hypothesis, impact forecast. What do we realistically think this will achieve? Opportunity costs. Is it worth the resources? Test. run a small pilot, and then, if the test works, implementation.
That sounds really disciplined.
It helps prevent falling for cognitive biases. Daniel Kahneman, the Nobel laureate, he talks about this great example with fighter pilot instructors.
Oh, yeah.
They were convinced that yelling at pilots after a bad maneuver made them perform better next time, because often they did perform better after being yelled at.
Okay, but was it the yelling?
Kahneman pointed out it was actually just regression to the mean. Extreme performances, good or bad, tend to be followed by performances closer to the average. The pilots would likely have improved anyway, but the instructors misattributed the improvement to their yelling.
Wow. So without testing, they drew the wrong conclusion entirely.
Exactly. Which is why that systematic, almost scientific approach to testing ideas and interpreting insights is so vital in marketing. Don't just assume correlation is causation.
That's a powerful reminder. So really, whether you're feeling like John Wanamaker back in the day, wondering where the money's going, or you're trying to navigate this complex, cookieless, AI-powered future, the FAPI framework, and especially this insights module we've discussed, offers a way through.
It provides that structure, that multi-layered approach to rationalizing metrics.
Moving you beyond just counting numbers to actually understanding performance and driving real strategic impact. It's like having that roadmap, isn't it? A blueprint for constant, informed improvement.
Exactly. And maybe a final thought to leave people with. As marketing keeps evolving at this incredible pace, with AI, with the privacy changes, the real challenge for you won't just be what you measure. It's going to be how you continuously integrate that hard empirical evidence with a deep human understanding of the customer relationship.
Yeah.
How do you weave it all into a system that's coherent but also adaptable? In this world overflowing with data points, what steps will you take, starting now, to ensure your data isn't just being counted, but that it truly counts towards your future success?